For tonight's review, we have something that is a little bit off the beaten path, something that I've never seen before until recently, and something that has come out from one of the great labels of our time, and that is Zoltan, Hound of Dracula. So, Kino Lorber, in their continuous quest to put out some of the best quirky material that the world has ever seen on 4K in this case. This is a 4K of Zoltan, Hound of Dracula from the Kino Cult Collection, ladies and gentlemen, which is my favorite current collection, no joke. I think that they've got some awesome titles and they continue to ride this out right now. And there's very few bumps in the roads as they're riding this Kino Cult thing out. But this particular film is exactly what you think it is. So, Zoltan the Hound of Dracula is about a killer vampire dog that is accidentally set loose. Uh, Present day, I guess, present day being, back at that time, but unwittingly set loose, and it is Dracula's dog. It is a vampire Doberman Pinscher. That's no shit. That's what it is. And it does tricks, like it pulls caskets out and opens them up and removes stakes from the hearts of Dracula's assistants. It does that. And in doing that, brings back the assistant who helps in one of the funniest kind of ways humanly possible, because he has like this mind control thing that he does that is essentially one of the funniest faces I've ever seen in my life of anybody that tries to put on that act or whatever. So I'm not sure how many people are familiar, but usually there in most Dracula films, Dracula has like a mind control kind of power, and he will essentially, you know, like for the Bela Lugosi thing, it was that kind of thing, and then later on, Christopher Lee would do his own kind of really intense stare, but this guy, he basically just goes for like that's his mind control device. So he's an assistant to Dracula. He's not the real Dracula or anything like that. But it's hilarious to me. He does this 5 or 6 times in this movie. Also, what's hilarious is just Zoltan, the hound itself is just a regular old dog, and they put some sort of lighting on the eyes to make them kind of appear like they're gleaming, and fake blood over the teeth that the dog is constantly trying to lick off, you can tell. And the dog is really well trained. He can pull, like I said, pull on a rope that's attached to this coffin. He can do little tricks and stuff, and on command kind of things that makes him appear like he's some sort of a super powered um superpowered pup. But eventually, and this part freaking killed me, just absolutely killed me as well. Uh, Eventually, it gets to the point where he runs across some regular dogs and some pups that are brought along by this family and bites them and turns them into this pack of ravenous vampire dogs. And it's one of the funniest things ever. I don't know why, but just the sight of him biting like other dogs like a vampire and turning them into it's a classic cheesy kind of B movie. That's all I can say about it. A lot of these Kino cult films are that way. They're a fun time. It's good to make fun of them and have like a group of people over and watch these type of films. They are not winning any Academy Awards. They're not even winning like a friggin', Saturn Award for that matter. But to go on with the story, I guess if that's even like a need, um, the Dracula family has only like one surviving descendant, which is a psychiatrist, and he takes his wife and their two kids on vacation in this Winnebago, and eventually the vampire dog and the master, who I believe the guy with the crazy, that he reanimates with the crazy stare, is Jose Ferrer, and they all meet up, and that's when like the vampire dog pack is assembled, and everyone thinks, as they show down for this battle, and all these different people are running around, and this family and their friends with these stakes, and they're trying to impale all these dogs with them, and you think everyone is dead, all the dogs are dead. It really does focus on Dracula's dogs, or Dracula's dog, and then the vampire dogs that dog makes through the whole film. Like, there's not a lot of focus on human beings in the film, which is probably to a detriment of the quality of the film. But anyway, you think that all the dogs are dead, and then you find out one of the puppies has escaped and still out there. So you've got a killer, ravenous vampire puppy hybrid that's going to take the world by storm. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. So there's that. Directed by Albert Band, who a lot of people know as the father of Charles Band, the celebrated director slash producer who runs Full Moon, and Charles Band, who is a composer as well. This movie is wild, entertaining in some ways, campy in all ways, corny almost in a lot of ways, but never really boring. I will say that. Jose Ferrer, Michael Pataki are the stars. Released by Crown International Pictures and EMI Films back in 1977. I'm not sure how well this movie did back at that time. It was originally called Dracula's Dog. I do know that. I think they made a book about this as well. And one of the other notable things about this film is that it is one of the early works of Stan Winston, who served as one of the creature effects designers. So that looks really good in the film, actually. Like the times when they have to use creature effects, they're not using like just a regular dog running around with fake blood, on it. It looks really good. So this has only been released, as far as I can tell, by Anchor Bay in 2002 on DVD, and now it's released on 4K in an amazing packaging by Kino Lorber with the slipcover. Um, the slipcover, gives way to this wonderful presentation with the 4K and the Blu-ray included as well, and a couple of special features. Amazingly, not much, but audio commentary by film historians Lee Gambon and John Harrison, and the Dracula's Dog radio spot. Those are your extras on there. But what an amazing world we live in, where Zoltan Hound of Dracula gets a 4K release. And Kino, I love those guys. They are absolutely killing it and bringing out films that have no business really being brought out, but are fun, entertaining cult films. You got a Doberman Pinscher Dracula dog attacking people and puppies and just causing chaos and havoc. And my God, if you don't need that in your life, then I don't know what's going on with you. But Zoltan Hound of Dracula, the 70s rises again, as does the Doberman Pinschers. Check it out from KinoLorber.com. Check us out at DEADPIT.com. Buy this now. It's out as of now, so check it out.
I'd like to tell people, thumbs up the video, Uncle Bill.
Would you?
Yes. Thumbs it up with violence and fury and just love everything about it.
You hit the heart button and you hit the ass button. Then you can hit the go fuck yourself button. Follow that up with the I don't give a shit button.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others, but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last House on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. Shop.deadpit.com.
Special thanks goes out to our supporters on Patreon. Do you know what kind of stuff you can get on Patreon, Uncle Bill, starting at only $1 a month?
What's that?
Access to every Dead Pit show since 2005. We got almost 200 fan commentaries that we've done over the decades.
We have a literal jukebox full of songs and thousands of reviews. I don't even know how many shows are up on there now that we've done over the years.
Hundreds of thousands.
You need to figure this out now and subscribe to us on Patreon and YouTube and Instagram and help us to 1 million. The road to 1 million subscribers starts today.
So deadpitonpatreon.com. Join today. Tiers start at only $1, but I'd recommend at least the $10 tier.
You can do 50. The stock market's crashing around us, folks, but send us money.